pretty darn amazing if I do say so myself. Thank you very much. Here's a harmonic minor shape that's harmonized 3 notes per string. Works real well with a lot of these patterns. Let me start from the highest part, because a lot of the licks I do in this are descending oriented. So just with 2 whole steps, and then you have a half step and a whole step kind of a shape. And from that, it gives it that real characteristic harmonic minor sound. You put your 6 notes up and down pattern into it, and it sounded real good. Right there, you've got a fairly big left hand shift, which happens a lot of times in 3 note per string scales, but once you get used to it, the picking, it's worth the picking ease. They're a fairly simple shape, but it's kind of far in position from the top 2 strings. So you might want to work on that shift. You got to move your first finger a whole step up or a whole step down, depending on whether you're ascending or descending. On the lower strings, you get a fairly big stretch, a half step and a minor third, and then just a half step and a whole step at the end. One of my favorites right now. This is sort of an unorthodox way of playing this scale, but has a lot of unique possibilities. Most of the time when guitar players play the chromatic scale, they'll do it 4 notes per string, which is a great way of playing. It's very efficient. You just have 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, going up each time. Basically, when I play chromatic, I use that scale most of the time. But for a strange effect, you can take the chromatic and harmonize it 3 notes per string. Not nearly as efficient, but you can take the 3 note per string phrasing licks, apply it to the scale, and get a lot of neat sounds. The scale would be like this, starting on E. So you have pretty big position shifts every time. But let's say, let's go back to the pattern that went up and down 4 and up 6, and translate it into the chromatic pattern that we just did. So if you translate this pattern into the chromatic shape, it would sound like this. You're going a pretty big left-hand skip, but if you get comfortable with that kind of sequence, it really isn't that bad. It's kind of funny to slow tempo, but at a fast tempo, it sounds really funny. Try that again. This is loads of fun. You're gonna annoy your parents forever with that one. You know, there really is a lot you can do with just that little old pick, but you know, in a way, it's kind of limiting when you know that there's a possibility of using not 1, but 3 picks on the end of a drill. There's really nothing like it.